the World Economic Forum is a place where they say the quiet part out loud. In fact, throughout the years, the Davos elite have made some, you can say, highly disturbing statements which really don't get the media attention that they deserve. And in fact, when you piece all these individual statements together, you wind up with an overarching theme: the total control of humanity using the media, science, and technology to reshape democracies and form something like a global government. Now, granted, that might sound very conspiratorial. However, let's go through the 9 most dystopian things that are currently being pushed by the World Economic Forum right now, and then you can decide for yourself whether it's conspiratorial or not. And also, I'd like to give a big shout out to the Vigilant Citizin for putting a lot of this research together. And now let's start with number 9. Penetrating governments. According to statements that have been made by Mr. Klaus Schwab, who is both the founder as well as the current head of the World Economic Forum, he appears to perceive democracy as an obstacle to a totally globalized world. In fact, in a report titled Global Redesign that was released in 2010 by the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab wrote that a, quote, globalized world is best managed by a self-selected coalition of multinational corporations, governments, including through the UN system, and select civil society organizations, CSOs. Which, quite frankly, already sounds like the total opposite of democracy, but he actually continues, quote, governments are no longer the overwhelmingly dominant actors on the world stage, and that the time has come for a new stakeholder paradigm of international governance. Now, you might look at that statement and you might say, you know, it does sound like he wants to achieve a one-world international government, but so what? It's not like he can actually achieve it. Except for the fact that in a speech that he delivered to Harvard's John F. Kennedy School of Government back in 2017, Klaus Schwab openly admitted what has been described as a conspiracy theory for many years now, the fact that his organization is penetrating governments around the entire world. Take a listen.
And I have to say, when I mention now names like Mrs. Merkel, even Vladimir Putin and so on, they all have been young global leaders of the World Economic Forum. Mm-hmm. But what we are very proud of now is the young generation, like Prime Minister Trudeau, President of Argentina and so on, that we penetrate the cabinets. So yesterday I was at a reception for Prime Minister Trudeau, and I know that half of this cabinet, or even more, half of this cabinet are actually young global leaders of the World Economic Forum.
And that's true in Argentina too. Wow.
Yeah.
Sorry. That's true in Argentina as well.
It's true in Argentina, and it's true in France now. Mm-hmm. I'm with the president, who is a young global leader.
Meaning that up on stage, in a recorded speech, Klaus Schwab openly bragged about how Angela Merkel of Germany, Vladimir Putin of Russia, Emmanuel Macron of France, Justin Trudeau of Canada, as well as about half of his cabinet, were members of the World Economic Forum's Young Global Leaders program. And so given statements like that, it's not too much of a wonder why the Transnational Institute described the World Economic Forum as a, quote, silent global coup d'etat to capture governance.